We're ready, right? I just told him we were ready.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Making sure I'm not lying. Everybody's here. Everybody's ready. We should be good to go.
Some chatter in here about junior ranked.
Junior ranked. Don't let St. Petersburg hear you say that. They worked hard on that.
Okay, ranked sprint.
There you go. There you go. Here we go. Amongst the volcanic islands of the South Pacific, opposing fleets vie for dominance across a small archipelago of lush tropical islands. The green palm trees and white sandy beaches will shortly be sullied by the gray of steel and black of gunpowder, and only one team will be declared champion. This is Trap. Trap is a 42 by 42 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running in a line from southwest to northeast. The A cap is in the bottom left, B is towards the center, and C is in the top right. Each capture point has a unique island configuration that makes both assaulting and defending it a particular challenge. In the extreme southwest corner, the A cap is the least congested by islands, but remains exceptionally claustrophobic due to its proximity to the map borders. The northern and northeastern cap edges have some island cover that can be utilized by Allied cruisers, but there are precious few places to hide, and even fewer places to run. The half-submerged caldera in the center of B cap is a magnet for friendly destroyers seeking shelter from enemy fire, but hugging it too tightly, or failing to recognize when it's time to cut losses and retreat, has cost more than one intrepid destroyer captain their ship. Just a few more leagues to the northeast, the capture circle of Cap C is wide open, but the perimeter is anything but. A half-dozen islands are scattered along the rim, and when added to those nearby, offer friendly cruisers a myriad of nooks and crannies from which to spring radar on unsuspecting destroyers as they vie for control. Trap is a challenging map for even seasoned teams to play well. Historically, action has tended to move in a clockwise or counterclockwise motion centered around the B cap, but will that remain true as new teams and new strategies enter the mix? 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Trap.
Alright, looks like everybody's ready except Raptor on Bravo team. We got 2 people on Alpha team that need to play.
Yeah, had a bit of a technical difficulty there, folks. We had to restart the game, so while you saw the video, we went through all our technical crap. We're back in the training room. We'll be dropping again momentarily. Sorry about that. But at least you're prepped and ready for the map now.
That's right.
That's right. It's okay, it happens.
The lush tropical islands.
We say it every tournament. One of the joys of doing all of this through training room means that occasionally the game craps out on you. It happens, so we deal with it and move on.
Yep, Screamers are ready.
Yep, looks like we's dropping. Let's get this going.
Well, we can do our traditional walkthrough at the start then, since both audiences are now ready.
Yeah, everybody's live at the same time now. We haven't had that much today. I've been enjoying playing with those videos. The timing has worked out just about like I wanted it to, in the sense of, I just noticed that guy's name is Megazal. That's awesome.
Yep.
I had always assumed that about a 90-second video would fill that gap from we're dropping to we kill each other, and that has worked out really well. So I'm happy with the length.
Good. And never mind. All right.
Oh, you went there. You went there. I set myself up for that one too. Jesus. All right.
To be professional.
I set myself up for that one. Now we gotta have some fun with it.
Okay.
All right. So do the lineups, sir.
Well, on KSC side, we've got Takuryu, Montana, Yamato, Booster, Hindi, Zhao, Stalingrad, Gearing, and Grozovoy. So a very flexible setup, and you're veering off course, mister.
Why am I doing this? There.
I don't know.
You're fine.
Okay. And what do you got over on the TASH side?
Ooh, Hakuryu Republic Yamato. Seen a lot of Yamatos today. You had a Republic on one of your teams, but that's the first one I remember seeing on my side of the map.
Yes, that was
Des Moines Minotaur, Hindenburg, Moskva. Nice cruiser mix there. And then, of course, double gearing. Now, this is the first time I've seen double gearing today, but I'm not surprised to see it. I like the team. You guys have gone gearing Grozovoy. I like seeing that. It's a nice balanced mix. Gives you a little bit of both. Gearing's Torps are better. Grozovoy's AA is better. You can kind of go both ways with that one. So, yeah, this looks good. Just have to see how we split. Looks like we've got Minotaur and Des Moines both making full turns for that island in, what is that, G6? Which is kind of like what we were talking about earlier in our map analysis of where we expect to find these cruisers to pitch tents. Got Gearing, Yamato, and Hindenburg headed down towards A, as Republic, Moskva, and Gearing move north up the 6-7 line towards C.
It's interesting, the Montana was out of position. I don't know why he hasn't really moved yet, but because he didn't move, that Minotaur is going to escape. Had he been moving south at the start, things might have been different, but I don't... Now he's starting to move. I think he might have been a late loader, which is unfortunate. And very interesting seeing a Minotaur going, for one, getting in the game, but two, going to that position there. Minotaur sometimes is kind of like a discount destroyer because it's got the really good concealment. It's got the stealth radar capabilities, assuming it has radar, all that good stuff.
Well, everybody kind of jockeying for position now. One of the Gearings. Which Gearing is that that's backed into B?
Sorry,
Oh, it's the Gearing. You've only got one Gearing. I apologize.
It's the Drift. It's Mr. Drift.
Yep. Drift has drifted in his stern end into B as he is working that cap early on. Who's our Gearing south? Uncle Sam's brother. Uncle Sam's brother. What a great name. He's working. He's about to be into the A cap here. Probably spotted. If not, he will be shortly by these bombers down here over the A cap. Am I reading the map right? It looks as if KSC is setting up for a firm C push and just kind of setting the Zhao up to kite whatever comes through A.
You are correct, sir. So like I was talking about when we had our little map analysis, they're going for a BC with the potential to get out of flex out of A or whatever if needed. And it looks like TASH is doing pretty much the opposite. They're focusing more on AV with kiting force at C.
Does appear so. Now, I gotta admit, English Muffins in his Minotaur has got giant balls here because he is in the B cap right now.
And that's exactly...
All in.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, he's all in, baby. He's gonna go snuggle up to this Caldera, and I think he's gonna end up regretting it in the long run, but it's a pretty aggressive play right now that keeps TASH off of the B cap. Sorry, that keeps KSC off the B cap.
Now the big question is the Yamato going to take the shot? He's got an angle, but
he doesn't have it anymore. He might have had it a minute ago, but not now.
Yeah, his guns were a little low, a little slow to respond. And yep, Drift now realizing there's no way he's going to get the cap. He's being radared, I would imagine, so he needs to get some cover.
Well, I tell you, that's a very bold play. It does work out for them. TASH does succeed in driving the Gearing out. Drift loses a little HP, and English Muffins will have the B cap under his control momentarily. I don't know that anybody to the north is going to have shots on him just yet. It's a little early for them to be pushed up quite far enough to have those shots.
Yeah, I think this Des Moines is a little out of position, but we'll see what happens. ISM 00 just took a decent chunk and is hiding behind the island now for cover.
Yeah, I see him now. There he is. Admiral Calamari and Smoke, is he radared in there?
No, not yet.
Okay, they're just fishing for him. They did hit him there for a second.
They did. That was, I think, the Hindenburg that shot in, and I don't know why they haven't shot any more. Because you're right, they did get some hits. So
he's leaving the cap now. They're gonna leave C under the control of the enemy team and just let them have it.
Yep. The Zhao is in a precarious position. ASR, he's just dumped some torps into A, and now he's finally getting into a position to kite away. He should have been in a kiting position earlier, but that's okay. I think he's going to get away with it.
Well, here's something I do like. The Tashkent Yamato did not go into the A cap. He rode the northern side of this island, which keeps his guns in the fight and continues to be able to put pressure on some of these ships to the north, even at this range. I really like that play, given how slow that ship is.
It's a very risky maneuver, though, because in doing so, you put yourself into at the risk of long-range destroyer torps like the Gearing. LPA just took a bit of a chunk. It looks like a torpedo hit from the Gearing up north.
Yeah, I see the hole in the torpedo spread. There's only 4 where there should be 5.
Yep.
They're calling
Long Dong
Megatron. That's right.
Problem.
They're calling for focus fire on him now. He is pushed up kind of aggressively. I'm not sure why he feels like he needs to be right on the edge of the C cap, but that's where he is.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a positioning fail. Now the big question is, can he dunk on the Des Moines? His turrets are not anywhere near position. He needs to maneuver, so he's not going to get that those squeaky turrets in position in time.
TASH Yamato takes one on the belt, but Yamato's torpedo protection sort of laughs it off. He takes about 9,000 there as he's continuing to put salvos down range at Borla's Montana. TASH looking really solid early, aggressive play into B, paying off well, pushing right through A just the way they needed to, and for the moment at least, holding back the forces, the KSC forces at C. Now, ironic moralities, Moskva is under a lot of pressure here. He's under 20,000 HP. They're really focusing him.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. At this point, KSC has two choices. They either, one, counter push A, or B, they have to secure the flank at C and get around.
I think their window to counter push A has passed. They don't have the ships in position to even attempt it.
That's very true. The Stalingrad's in the wrong position.
Right.
The gearing, Drift is smoking up and pew-pewing now, but he's completely stopped, so he's got a very small circle, which is going to make it very easy for the enemy to kind of predict where he is and shoot him if they wanted to.
Oh, goodness. Boondock is about to eat 2 Zautorps. I think he's going to be off the board. There he goes.
Yep. There it is. As the gearing is going to get some gearing on gearing action here.
First kill of the game going to KSC here as they bag a Hindenburg. Uncle Sam's brother's gearing is just being very aggressive. He's just determined to push up. There he is. He's got Drift spotted. They're basically, Drift is out of smoke, so they're on top of each other at point-blank range.
Yep.
This is only going to end one way. One of these guys is going off the board. The only question is who it would be.
Or possibly both of them.
It could be both. I think it is going to be both. Nope. Drift cuts out the better. His team backs him up. And now that A push looks decidedly less exciting. It's got a lot less teeth as the Yamato is all that's left.
But the Drift is still spotted, right?
He is for the moment. Yamato shell's coming in. And it's enough.
And that's why I was mentioning that.
Yep, it's enough. Well,
Borla is getting hammered by the Minotaur now.
Yeah, I was just fixing to point that out. I'm sure the Yamato will be back onto him momentarily. He's been getting a lot of tender loving from these Yamato shells up to this point. Here comes some more.
Yep, nice torpedo drop by the carrier.
Ooh, Borla down to 6,000 HP.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
They're going to have to get this Yamato on fire ASAP, and the Wooster is trying to vector in to help.
Halfway mark of the match as KSC trails by about 200 plus points here. They're down a ship. No, they're up a ship, but down a cap. And they're about to be even on ships, I think. This should take Borla out of the game. There he goes. So now it's just a question of whether or not... I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce Rush's name here, but whether or not this Tashkent Yamato can preserve his ship between the Worcester and the Zhao.
Now they're calling for a push into B cap, and Mega Zhao is going to go in, and he's going to go in hard.
Calamari.
The Republic... Sorry.
No, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say...
The Republic's got an angle on him, so this is going to be a really dangerous proposition.
Calamari had been camping on C, holding those points back. He hit a torp in the stern and basically had to leave the cap. Minotaur going up against Stalingrad. I know how this will end. The Stalingrad shells can wreck this poor Minotaur from literally any angle.
Look at the north. Yamato's about to go down, and the Hakurio was spotted and took a torp at C cap. So we see an awful lot of death happening up here.
It's Minotaur continuing to charge. Megazao Stalingrad is Zhao AP coming in over the island on his flank, trying to get him off the board, but I can't see this ending in any other way but this Minotaur's death. I just don't know if he's going to be able to take anybody with him on the way.
might be able to take the Wooster with.
He's going to try. He's going in on the Wooster now. His single-fire torps might be good on the Stalingrad, but he's only got seconds to live.
Nope.
Nope, didn't even get him off. I'm not sure there was a need for that kind of a push, but it ties things back up again. Both teams down 3 ships. TASH get way up on points. Go ahead.
What it does, though, is it opens up a window to get into B. The question is, how do you do that with the Yamato breathing down your throat?
I don't know. Can you guys see ironic morality from where you are, his Moskva? Because that window's not as large as you think it is.
Well, we see him approaching the channel, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the channel.
He is in the channel there.
Lego Party is trying to stop the cap, but he's got to be careful not to get into radar range of the Des Moines. He's right there. As the gearing just temporarily gets spotted by aircraft.
You know, I gotta say, Calamari has done a really good job of simply denying KSC points off the C-cap almost the whole game. He's just sat there. He's taken a torp for his trouble, and he's probably done some damage with his own torpedoes, but his main contribution has been to just prevent the enemy from gaining points. I mean, Tashkent is basically now 100 points from winning, as Megazao does finally move into the cap here at B.
Sometimes that's all that's necessary.
Oh, he's broadside of this Moskva. This is going to hurt.
Yep.
Here comes the AP.
One more salvo ought to do it.
Yeah, it's going to depend on how the angle goes in. Stalingrad's angling out. Will it make a difference? He does take some more solid damage.
Problem is, you can't angle to all 3 of these ships.
No, he's got a Yamato off his bow and a Moskva on his flank. He can't angle to all of them. There he goes.
And that's all she wrote. This game is over.
20 seconds for victory as TASH looks really solid here to take game 1 on trap.
You know, we really haven't seen the Stalingrads doing that much performance-wise.
Really haven't. We've seen a couple, and they honestly, for lack of a better, not to put too fine a point on it, they haven't amounted to very much. Probably the best use of one that we saw was the one that we saw in game 1 on Tears of the Desert, all the way back at the beginning of the day. He just parked there and held back, any realistic pushes off the top end of the map. It's a brilliant job of it. I mean, I don't know how much damage he did, but his positioning was impeccable.
Right. Well, not much to get out of here other than the fact that Pio Nu lost a lot more planes than Tasha's carrier, Spinosaurus.